To this story again now, the South African Policing Union has issued a stern warning against Police Minister Thobakgale. It follows his announcement that no officer will be granted leave this festive season. SAPU says officers are allowed to enjoy their labour rights like any other public servant. The union says Gele is just a populist looking to grab media attention. For more on this, I'm joined by SAPU spokesperson Lesiba Thobakgale. Mr. Thobakgale, good morning yet again. Thank you very much for your time. Just what exactly about that call? Thank you very much for joining us indeed. What exactly about that call for police to work throughout the festive season has you incensed?
Thank you, Mfundo, for having us, and also to your viewers at home. It is not the first time we are having a festive season. We had festive seasons. We are going to have one this year. We'll have others the coming years. And we know the drill when it comes to that members who work, there will always be members who will work during the festive season operations. And for the minister, on the day of the safer festive season launch in Toyando in Limpopo, for him to be reckless and give an illegal instruction to the National Commissioner that there is no member of the police who will go on leave during that festive season. It looks like he forgot, even when he was a National Commissioner, that members, they have their leave plans submitted at the beginning of January, which includes December. The issue is about how many percentage which members can take leave and so on. So for him to give that illegal instruction to the National Commissioner, we are saying no to it. He's really overstepping his toes. Those are the duties of the National Commissioner. And we are also sending a standing warning to the National Commissioner. We wrote to his office as well yesterday, gave him up until the 11th. We placed him on terms to say, what is his response? Is he going to comply with that illegal instruction? Because our members whom their leave plans are meant to be taken during the festive season, they are going to take their leave, whether the minister has said what he said, whether the minister of police likes it or not. And to the National Commissioner, he knows all the prescripts, he knows the issue of leaves forms part of the conditions of service. It forms part of the conditions of the employment contract of our members. He knows what is it that is supposed to happen, that there is no leave cancellation that is going to be done. We hope and we are calling on him to do the right thing. And it is not like this is the first time we see festive season. The minister is supposed to be fighting for the issues of the budget cuts that SAPS is facing there in cabinet, because he's a cabinet member. He's supposed to be dealing with the issues of the crime stats. He's supposed to be implementing the proposals that we gave him in terms of re-establishing specialized units and so on. So we are saying that he needs to leave the operational responsibilities to the National Commissioner, who is the Commander-in-Chief within the South African Police Services.
Okay, so you're reducing this to populism, but some could argue that he's responding to the desperate pleas of citizens at this time, because he's constantly at crime imbizos. You watch these, we broadcast them live, and citizens are calling for more boots on the ground, particularly around this busy period. They would want to be protected. So would it really be populism or just a response to the desperate pleas of citizens now?
To us, Mfundo, it is populism, as you are saying correctly. Remember the crime stats, he was releasing them quarterly since the beginning of the year. Even sometime this month, he will be releasing the crime stats. Things that he's supposed to implement, even the SAPS management, things that they are supposed to implement jointly to ensure that they get crime. It starts with the issue of the human capital. Now they only have the 10,000 that they took to the colleges and so on. They are supposed to be addressing issues of the human capital at large, not only to look at the festive seasons. Like we are saying, this is not the only festive season that we had. And we know that with the manpower that is there within the SAPS, which in itself, it is not that sufficient. Operations are being able to be done.
Apologies for interjecting there. Apologies for interjecting. You keep stating that we've had many festive seasons, but would you perhaps agree that there has been a shift in the level of crime and the brutality of those crimes? I mean, in Ennerdale, a week ago, we're talking about people that were killed in the most violent and senseless manner. You had people being killed for chicken feet. We are seeing people being killed when they are out enjoying themselves at taverns. This is something that was not a normal occurrence among citizens or communities in South Africa. Wouldn't you say there has been a shift that warrants some sort of a change in the manner in which you deploy around busy periods now in South Africa?
Mfundo, we agree with you. The high levels of crime, they are there as an organization. That is true. And we've seen how crime has evolved over the years. It's not only this year. What we are saying is it does not warrant for the leave cancellation of members, because it's not even majority of members who are going on leave. There are instructions that are in place. There are policies in place that are guiding clearly the issue of the management of leave, even during the festive season. We are saying that should still remain applicable, because even the few of those who will go on leave, it will not really have any bearing in terms of the operations that will be going, because we know in terms of the percentages that are supposed to ensure that service delivery, it is not hampered at all. So we are still maintaining as an organization to say the minister needs to bring permanent solutions. Cancellation of leave is not a permanent solution for dealing with the issues of the high level of crime in this country. We need those permanent solutions, which we gave as proposals, but they are not being implemented because there is no political will to deal with it. Crime needs to be dealt with fully so throughout the year, not only to come and act as a populist only during festive season to make a PR exercise like the minister is doing. Members have been struggling in fighting the high levels of crime without resources. Those resources, if you are saying to us that no, I've now increased resources, we are not seeing that. It's just saying police are not going to go on. So we are saying it remains to be the same. It needs to deal with the real issues that are there, the issues of the budget cuts that we have seen. He's a member of cabinet. He's supposed to be fighting there with the Minister of Finance to say, you cannot cut the budget of SAPS like you are doing with the rest of other departments. We need permanent solutions. We have seen with the deployments of TRT and the deployments during the illegal mining that happened in Krugersdorp after that hateful incident that occurred there, where he deployed, and then thereafter, as we look today, there is no one who's still deployed there. We need permanent solutions. We don't want populists who will just come and say, leave is cancelled, but we are not dealing with the real issues that will really address the high levels of crime throughout, not only to bring that exercise during the festive season. That's what we are saying.
And then how is morale in the force? Because one would assume that the high levels of crime and the resources that don't match this level of crime would really have them very discouraged, because then citizens or community members are constantly criticizing them, saying they don't act or respond on time. So how has morale been, particularly now when you add this, because yes, conditions of employment must be observed and there must be a distinction between a political head and an administrative head and who makes the decisions around leaves, etc., good and well. But how is morale, broadly speaking, with so much criticism that is put at the doorstep of police officers?
Mpundo, the morale of the police is low. We have seen. As we speak now, we still are in loggerheads with the employer when it comes to the issue of salary increase, the issue of the lack of promotion policy. Our members sit for a period of around 11 years for them to be promoted to the next rank. We have seen that the lack of promotion policy indeed has brought the morale of our members, because there is no upward mobility that indeed is guaranteed. Because as much as policing is a calling, it is not like it is a job, but the growth and something that will benefit our members in terms of their career pathing, it is something that is important. And we have seen that with the declining of the SAPS, when we compare from 2010 during the World Cup up until now, SAPS has since declined, where we've lost so many, and even COVID played that role, where you find that one police officer, in terms of the United Nations ratio, that one police officer is supposed to be responsible for around 220 citizens. Currently, one police officer is even more responsible over about 400 citizens at a time within a specific community. So all of those issues, we've seen the police killings. Police killings are indeed another problem that is taking the morale down, because when police officers are faced where their lives are in danger, or the lives of others whom they are to protect are in danger, they think quite a whole lot of things to say, what is going to happen? Will I be sued? what is going to happen? What is it that will I face? At that time, a criminal is not waiting. A criminal is there to kill that police officer in order to continue to terrorize communities. So police killings are also indeed taking the morale of the police down. That's why we made a call clearly that we need to protect our protectors through declaring police killings as treason, so that those who are responsible for that. And also we have senior managers who are just there to victimize junior members. We have seen in some of the divisions and components, whereby those who are really working, who are really doing their best to serve our communities in order to ensure that service delivery is at its optimum level, you find that they get victimized. The issue of the cabals, which are there within the South African police services, we have seen previously that each and every national commissioner who comes, they come with their own people. They surround themselves with their own people. When they leave, they are left disgruntled. That has since made cabals to be there within the SAPS. That on its own, it has really affected in terms of the operation, even the morale, because others don't get promoted, because others who get promoted depends whose cabal are you belonging to. So that's why we call for a board of inquiry in order to deal with the whole SAPS, to look at the whole SAPS, so that we can clean the SAPS and start afresh and move forward, because changing national commissioners has not helped. Because you can change a national commissioner, but if the cabals are still existing, there will be another cabal that will be formed. The issue of cabals will continue to grow. At the end of the day, the members suffer in our communities, end up suffering at the end of the day. But the morale needs to be boosted through the promotion policy that is clearly is there to guarantee the upward mobility, increasing resources, physical resources, dealing with the issue of police killings.
Speaking of commissioners, though, I mean, the unions, you guys have been quite silent about this past weekend's revelations or allegations that the current commissioner, Masemula, is embroiled in some sort of a gifts or bribery scandal similar to that of Jackie Silebe. I don't know if you're fully aware of the facts around that story, but this relates to when he was still deputy commissioner. I mean, if you speak of corruption within SAPS and the morale issue, it also then, to citizens, makes us wonder that you wake up on a Sunday to see that a top cop is involved in some level of corruption or accused of such. One then wonders, when would they find the time to put together strategies to be ahead of thieves when they themselves are ducking and diving, dodging prison?
Mfundo, it is always concerning when there are allegations against a police officer, whether it is a constable, whether it goes up to a high top cop being a general, like you have said in the instance of the current national commissioners with those allegations that are labeled. We stand on a principle at all times, no matter who is involved. If there's any allegations that are formed or that happens to be there against any police officer, we should allow investigations to go on. But that on its own is concerning, because remember, police officers are expected to be the ones who are enforcing the law. Police officers are expected to be the ones who are without reproach. Police officers, they are the ones who are supposed to walk and be able to show, be an exemplary to our communities, to say, when we speak of safety and security, when we speak of being law-abiding citizens, this is what we are talking about. So as an organization, our principle, it is the same, that if there's allegations against anyone, it becomes that a police officer could be found to be on those allegations. And it is our view that where allegations are there, the law should be allowed to take its course. Strongly we believe that if that is the case, there would be investigations that are there. And if anyone has any case to answer to, they have a case to answer to, they should face the music, because police officers are supposed to be without reproach.